What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today you and I are talking about what's better for weight loss, cardio or weight training. Everyone's got an opinion. I'm going to share mine. Some people are going to hate me in the comments section, but that's just the name of the game. Let's get into the video. All right, so we're going to go through each point by point, but I want to start off with the first one, which is just discussing this or, right? And it's this false dichotomy that it either has to be weight training or cardio. In the fitness industry, it tends to run on extremes, right? This pendulum of it's either good for you or bad for you, right for you or wrong for you, healthy for you, unhealthy for you. It makes you gain fat or it makes you burn fat. It's this really misleading dichotomy that is not accurate, because it doesn't have to be either or. And I'll get to that at the end. At the very end, I'll discuss what I think the best program is and how to do it. But the point of this isn't to say cardio is better or weights is better. Realistically, a mixture of the two is the best option. Not to mention, when we really talk about the only way to lose fat, it's to be in a calorie deficit. That's really what the most important thing to understand is. And this is why I beat that drum so damn hard in all of my Instagram posts, all my YouTube videos, my podcasts, everything. It's because most people, not everyone, but most people have a goal of getting to a lower body fat percentage for any number of reasons. Maybe it's athletics, maybe it's health, maybe it's aesthetics, whatever it is. If your goal is to lose body fat, you have to first and foremost be in a calorie deficit. You can do that through cardio. I think it's better to do it through nutrition, but doing through a combination of two is better than either one alone. I think focusing on your nutrition as your driver of fat loss is probably the better bet rather than trying to do it through exercise. That being said, understanding how to incorporate cardio and how to incorporate weight training is going to help you better than either alone. So with that said, if you don't know how many calories you need to eat for fat loss, I have my own weight loss calorie calculator. It's on YouTube. The link is in the description. If you use that, it'll tell you exactly how many calories you need to eat in order to lose fat. But this video, we're talking about cardio and weight training. And I want to talk about more over here the pros and cons of each. But before I do, I want to go over a really common myth. Now, I've been seeing this myth pop up more and more over the last year or so, but it's so stupid it's actually bewildering to me. And the myth is along the lines of people saying, doing cardio will make you fat. Sort of like when people tell me eating fruit is going to make you fat, I always try and just repeat it back to them very slowly. So when someone's like, oh my God, you're going to have watermelon? Watermelon makes you fat because it has such a high glycemic index and the sugar. And I'll just look at them and I'll be like, watermelon is gonna make me fat. How many people do you know who packed on the last 50 pounds because of the watermelon? This is the same type of deal. How many people do you know who got fat from doing cardio? Not a person ever in the history of ever. It is ridiculous. If you ever hear someone say something to you that just doesn't make sense, number one, trust your gut. Number two is just repeat it back very slowly because it sounds so stupid as you say it. Cardio is not gonna make you fat. A lot of times what'll happen is when people really wanna lose weight, they'll start doing cardio. They'll start running more, they'll start going to the gym, going on the treadmill, doing the elliptical, whatever. And they overestimate how many calories they're burning. And that's for a number of reasons, not least of which the treadmill and the elliptical and the rowing machine, all of these things telling you how many calories you're burning, they're wrong. And it sucks to hear that. Trust me, I know. I would way rather go on that machine for 30 minutes and have it actually burn 700 calories when the reality is I probably only burn 200 at most. These machines are statistically inaccurate by upwards of 50%, and that includes the apps that we use on our phones and our wristwatches and everything. So you can't trust those. It's really, really important to remember that, because if you're overestimating how many calories you're burning, then what's gonna happen? You're gonna end up eating way more back because you think, oh my God, I burned 700 calories, I can eat 700 calories back and I'll be totally fine. And then that person struggles to lose weight. And oftentimes the people who are doing cardio specifically in order to burn more calories so they can eat more back end up gaining weight because they're eating more than they should, and oftentimes they're not tracking properly. So they're eating more than they think they are. So this whole idea that cardio makes you fat is complete and utter nonsense. And the reality is, if you're doing cardio and you're in a calorie deficit, you're gonna be losing fat. But if you're doing cardio specifically with the intent to burn as many calories as possible, and you're trusting the calorie apps that are telling you how many you're burning and you're eating it all back, that's when you might actually be gaining weight. Not because of the cardio, but because, shocker, you're eating too much. All right, so with all that said, quick recap. It doesn't have to be either or. It's not cardio or weights. Both is better than either alone. The only way to lose fat is to be in a calorie deficit, regardless of how much cardio or weight training you're doing, and cardio is not gonna make you fat. That's ridiculous. That being said, let's go now to the strength and cardio portion to discuss the pros of each. And the way that I look at strength training is, I think of strength training as a very long-term investment. I think of cardio as more of a short-term investment, but before you jump on me for that, let me explain. I know there are people in the comment section who are just waiting to tear me down. Strength I look at as more of a long-term investment, because when you're strength training, the effects of strength training, the positive effects, take a longer time to build and also a longer time to lose. Building muscle, getting stronger, increasing your bone density. These are all some of the major important factors of getting stronger in strength training that take a long time to build, and also they take a long time to lose. If you spend 2, 3, 4 years strength training and all of a sudden you take a month off, you don't lose all your strength, you don't lose all your muscle mass, you don't lose all your bone density. It takes a long time for those things to go away. Cardio, I look at as more of a short-term investment, because the benefits from it you can see very, very quickly, but you also lose the benefits very, very quickly. Again, I want to say, both are better than either alone, and I wouldn't suggest doing one without the other. I think they're both beneficial. But now in terms of cardio, the endorphin release, the often quick calorie burn, oftentimes the mental benefits that you get from it, the emotional benefits from it, the cellular benefits that you get from it, they're very, very quick. The endurance capacity that you get from it, these are all things that you can improve almost immediately within 24 hours, 36 hours, 72 hours. These are things that as part of your physiological system, they are immediate benefits. But if you don't do it for a week, you start to lose it very quickly. That's one of the cool things about cardio is sometimes if you take a week or two off for vacation and you go back to training, you just feel winded, you feel exhausted. You can literally feel that you are not at your peak condition. But within a week or two, all of a sudden you feel you're back, like you're good. Whereas let's say you go strength training, like you maybe take a week off for vacation, you come back, sometimes you come back stronger. Like sometimes you feel way better. If you took a month off, sure, might not feel as strong as you were, but it doesn't take that much longer to get back on track. With cardio, the results are almost immediate in either direction, which is actually why if you look at the programming structure of high-level athletes, the strength training is the base and foundation of what they do, because it takes a lot longer to get stronger, it takes a lot longer to make those benefits. And then as they get closer and closer to their season, that's when they start doing more cardiovascular work. They start doing more endurance work, because now it's more specific to what they need, and it's gonna have a much more drastic effect on what they're doing in their season. If they're doing endurance all year long, they're gonna miss out on what they can do from a strength perspective and how strong they can actually build up over the long term. So I look at strength as more of a long term and cardio as more of a short term benefit. Now, one more thing I wanna add about cardio is, in today's day and age in fitness, a lot of coaches like to brag about being able to lose fat without doing any cardio whatsoever. Like, I got shredded without ever doing cardio. I strength trained 3 times a week for 45 minutes and that's it. And I think that's great on one end, because it shows people they don't need to work out 7 days a week for 6 hours a day and be incredibly restrictive with their diet in order to achieve their goals. On the other hand, to brag about not doing cardio is very short-sighted in my opinion. And I'll say, I did this years ago. I used to do the same thing. It was a mistake that I made as a coach. Now I think it's much better from a global perspective to say, yeah, you don't need to do 6 hours of cardio. But I think in the same way, suggesting someone do a lot of cardio is equally as bad as saying, well, you shouldn't do any cardio whatsoever, because there are incredible benefits of cardio. The endorphin release, the overall health benefits, the cellular benefits, the mental and emotional benefits. There's tremendous benefits to doing cardio, even if it has nothing to do with fat loss whatsoever. Even if the only way to lose fat is to be in a calorie deficit, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do cardio to improve your health. In the same way that technically you don't need to strength train in order to lose fat, but why would you not want to get stronger? Why would you not want your bone density to increase? Why would you not want to feel more empowered through lifting weights and to get stronger, just to be a better individual and to push yourself to get better and healthier overall? So in terms of cardio, just because someone's not doing any and they're losing fat doesn't mean that's really the best way to go about it. Again, I've said this 5 times already. I think a combination of cardio and weight training is better than either one alone. And then also for separating fat loss and health, cardio has tremendous health benefits, as does strength training. And that's why doing both of them will yield better benefits than either alone. So to wrap it all up, what's the best workout? This is a hell of a topic, right? This could be hours and hours and hours. There's books and libraries written on this. I'll say a couple things. Number one is, if you want something written for you, something that's already said and done, I do offer that in my inner circle. It's $24.99 a month. The link is in the description if you want to join. If you don't, totally fine. But it's pre-written. You have strength training workouts, you have cardio, you have metabolic conditioning, you have nutrition, group community, everything. That being said, if you just want the general synopsis, when we're looking at a really good workout over a week-long phase, generally speaking, I would like to do at least 2 to 4 strength training sessions and at least 2 to 4 cardio sessions. Now, it's a wide range, right? So I mean, if you wanted to, you could do 2 full body strength training days and 4 cardio days. Or you could do 3 strength training days and 2 cardio days. Or you could do 4 strength training days and 2 cardio days. There's a million ways to do this. There's no one right or one wrong way. I think that number one is you have to find what's gonna work best for you. You have to find a program that you enjoy. And you also have to find a modality that you enjoy. This is really important too. So for example, right now, I'm doing jujitsu about 3 to 4 days a week and strength training about 3 to 4 days a week, like at most, usually about 3 days a week of strength. So for me, I get my cardio in through jujitsu and my strength through weightlifting. Other people, maybe their cardio is walking, maybe their strength training is kettlebells. There's a million options and there's no one right or wrong. The most important is you find what works best for you. And I like having the combination of some cardio and some strength in order to get the best of both worlds. That being said, and this is a whole other topic, there are ways to combine both of them into one workout. There's some metabolic conditioning workouts. There are many, many ways to do both in the same workout as well, to combine them together. The point of this is, I don't want you only focusing only on cardio or on weights. Do a little bit of both. Get a little bit sweaty, lift some heavy weight. No one ever complained about being too strong. No one ever really complained about not being tired when they got up the flight of stairs either. Do both, try your best. If I can help, please let me know. Leave a comment, subscribe if you don't already. Talk to you soon.